Hey everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. Today I have my May TBR for you, and I am very excited this time around because May is my birthday month. So it's going to be some stuff that is of course scheduled or planned on or group reads or whatever, but I would like to do a lot of mood reading today. Finishing up some older stuff I've had going for a long time, of course, because that's always on the docket, but I would like to read some new stuff and stuff that I'm excited about. Instead of just saving it for a rainy day or denying myself or whatever, I want to read the fun stuff. So let's do the scheduled stuff first, shall we? So for DoubleBookedCo's book club, held on the DoubleBookedCo channel here on YouTube, the pick this month was my pick, and that's The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. This is almost 20 years old now, I can't believe it, but fiction about an Indian family that lives in Massachusetts, starting in the 60s and then going forward in time with their young son and daughter. So this is coming up now. I'm already started reading it and I'm really liking it, actually. Then for the Out of the Coffin readathon hosted by BookTube with Amy and Angie's Book Chatter, we're up to number 5 in the Sookie series. So this month it's Dead as a Doornail. Again, I really enjoyed the series. They're tons of fun, and it's a reread for me so far still. So really looking forward to this one. Then it's Springathon, which it comes up so fast every year. That's hosted by Natalie at A Curious Reader, Doris at Aldi Books, and Heidi at My Reading Life. And they have 4 prompts, but I'm not going to follow the prompts. I'm just going to read some nature writing in some way. So these are not 100% sure, but they're 2 that I do genuinely want to read soon that have been kind of calling me from the shelf. I should say, the group read they're doing is Small Bodies of Water by Nina Mingya Powles, I believe it is. I don't have a copy of the book. That's also the book of the month for Book Naturalists that Doris and Heidi run. So I won't be reading that just because I don't own a copy and it's not in my library system. So what will I be reading? I've got 2 here. So one is And I Shall Have Some Peace There, Trading in the Fast Lane for My Own Dirt Road by Margaret Roach. So Margaret Roach worked as an editor for a magazine in New York. I forget which. I want to say Martha Stewart. Yeah, editorial director of Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia, a New York Times editor and a gardening book author, but she felt unfulfilled. So she leaves her corporate life and goes to move out into the country. So this one I have had on my shelf for a very long time as well and looking forward to it. There's also a second one that follows up and I have that on my shelves as well. So if this goes well, I'll bring in the second one too. And then the other one I really want to read, and I know that this author is an author spotlight coming up later in the year for the Book Naturalists, but she's one of my favorites and I've been holding off reading this, and it's just, I really want to read it now, so I'm jumping the gun a little bit. But this is Upstream by Mary Oliver, one of my favorite poets of all time. This is essays about the natural world and everything, and I cannot wait to read this one. It's going to be so good, I just know it. And then the Golden Girls Readathon, hosted by Rachel at, I want to say Rachel Dratch. It's not Rachel Dratch. Rachel, I'll shout it out later. I'll get it. Anyways, the prompt this month is to read a cozy mystery with food, either on the cover or with food as part of the plot. So I'm going to go through my cozy mysteries again. I might film that with you guys, but I have 3 options here to choose from, and I'll just see whatever one sounds good when I get to it. So the first up is Clammed Up by Barbara Ross. This is part of the start to the main clam bake series. So Julia comes to her hometown to help her family's struggling clam bake business, and then there's a murder and a blah blah, I don't know. So there's recipes in here as well, and lots of people who read mysteries and also don't read cozies in particular have also that they have tried this series and really liked it. So I have high hopes for this one, and I think I have the entire series here because my mom has read them all, so that's why I have them. It's not just my normal book hoarding problem. Okay, and this one is 4th. Yes, this is 4th in the B series. This is Beeline to Trouble by Hannah Reed. Queen Bee Mystery, that's what it is. So these are set not too far from me in southeastern Wisconsin, which is always a nice little treat, nice little surprise. And Hannah is a local author as well. This is a pen name. So this series is about a young lady named Story Fisher, who decides to keep bees. She comes back to her parents, kind of her hometown, and decides to keep bees in this very small town. And she sells honey and works in sort of the local grocer, food shop, small town little shop. She always ends up with her ex, who is the small town sheriff, and they always are like getting involved together somehow. She's always somehow finding a dead body or something, and the bees are always involved too with honey. So yeah, I really like this series. It's fun. I will say that it seems more dated because the first couple of books, actually probably all of them, because they are older now, they all have text speak. Her younger sister does a lot of like LOL, OMG stuff in person. And it was sort of funny at first, but then the second book I was like, I'm kind of over this. And then by the time I got to the third one, I was like, yeah, I'm real over this. But she's a minor character, and that's a small little niggling thing to say. So this one would be nice. And there's just this and one more, and then I'll be done with the series. So that's appetizing. And the last option I have is Pies and Prejudice by Ellery Adams, the start, I should say, to the Charmed Pie Shop mystery series. So this one I think has a little bit of magical realism in it as well. And I know that Ellery Adams is a big cozy mystery author. So, and I think I also have this entire series. So again, actually all of them are courtesy of my mom. So yeah, so we'll see which one I feel like, if I want to read about honey or pies or clam bakes, who knows. And then after that, it's all just free reading. So based on my mood at this very moment in time, which could very well change in half an hour, so don't hold me to this, but you very well might see some of these books. So this is the third in the School for Good and Evil series. It's kind of middle grade / YA, getting that territory. So it's the third one, and here this is The Last Ever After. It's big. It's like 650 pages or something. And I just finished the second book in the series this past weekend for Dewey's Readathon. So I want to keep it going and see if I can finish this series as well. So this is on my very short list. Two that I have started and not gotten far with, but do really want to read. They're both fiction. This is A Room Called Earth by Madeleine Ryan. This is set outside of Melbourne, and the author is also Australian, so I've got this. And then there is My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. This is set around Brighton in the 1950s and involves a love triangle, sort of. So yep, this should be good. And the last one I pulled off of the shelf that I really do want to get to, that it's one that like was so big for so long, but I've seen a few people starting the series for the first time, so I feel like I'm not the only one that hasn't read this at this point. It's YA, and I just sort of missed when it was really popular, like 10 years ago, maybe more, I don't know. But I want to read this, so I'm going to start A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I've heard so many good things, and so many people who don't read a lot, this is one of their favorite series. I mean, it should be good, and if it's not, that's perfectly fine too, but I really do want to try this and see what it's like. So that's my whole plan for the month. So ones I have to read are Namesake, Does a Doornail, Food Mystery, and Nature Writing. So that's just 4 books. That's not bad at all. I mean, I know I'll read more than that. Please, Lord, let me read more than that. I have some catching up to do, but that's all I've got on the docket. Are you joining in any of these? Have you read these before? Let me know. Do you love Mary Oliver like I do? Isn't she fabulous? I'm so sad she's gone. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well and reading something totally amazing, like knock your socks off. Totally fantastic. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.